Hello and welcome. I am Adrian, or at least 6113 online, and we are about to play Call of Cthulhu, the Necropolis, which is a one-shot, which is supposedly great for new Call of Cthulhu players, which we all are for the most part, so that's yay. But we are joined together with four wonderful players who will be playing the pre-generated characters named by our players. So if we will just do a quick um, what introduction, I guess, for who you're playing and like what the class is or the pre-gen. And we'll go in Rural 20 just from, I guess, left to right, starting with Lady Emma LaRue.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie. I'm playing Lady Emma LaRue. I am a dilettante. I am a collector of fine antiquities. I do not know much about them, though I do have a slight kind of inclination of learning. Not really, but it's all about status quo and making sure that you have the best stuff to discuss at parties. So I make an effort to make sure that the stuff that I have is the best stuff available.
Excellent. Next over, Allergen.
Hello, my name is Alogen Miralus. I I am quite a fan of ancient artifacts, and I am also a fan of being able to afford living. So I'm here, and I'm looking for anything noteworthy.
Excellent. I like basic necessities as well. Next over, Professor.
Oh, I am Professor Lockhart, and I have been stuck translating German documents for years now. And my heart goes with Egyptology and all there is to know and translate. I can't wait for the adventure.
Sehr gut, sehr gut. Last but not least, Jane Cobb.
Hello, I am playing the ex-soldier, pre-generated character. I have named him James Cobb, the hero of Canton. He's the backstory says fought the Great War, dishonorably discharged due to a fisticuff with an officer. But he's back in Egypt working for the dilettante.
Excellent. I love it. The hero of Kenton. Um, well, here we are. November 26th, 1924. You've all been working tirelessly with shovel, spade, and trowel in the Egyptian Valley of the Kings. The sun beats down upon you as you carefully unveil the facade? I read that wrong. The facade of the ancient structure, cut deep into the cliff face, buried by the sands of several millennia. Your body of contracted laborers work like busy ants, and soon as you watch, the doorway is uncovered. You stand proudly at the top. 13 steps descend down to an entryway covered by a large stone slab. And here is your chance to give character introductions, which we just did. So we're going to switch to the actual page. Un momento. Or ein Moment, bitte. You should be able to see hardly anything except for your tokens. I'm gonna
There we are.
modify, yes, shift click. I'm gonna give you some light. Let's see, 25 feet ought to be enough to show you what you can see.
Yep.
Okay, so the professor has more vision than everybody else, but it's representing daylight. As again, it's about midday. You've probably all had some sandwiches brought from one of the your not servants, but he'd be kind of like the butler guy who brought over some lemonade and sandwiches while everybody else is working down there clearing. You've got, I think, about 20 different hired laborers, which have all been shoveling and excavating. And here it is. They start shouting and pointing excitedly at this slab down these steps. and you can see for the first time the ancient Egyptian carvings all over the limestone.
My goodness, they are beautiful.
As
Sorry,
you,
I get excited.
that's perfect. As you kind of go to investigate, and you can see the slab looks to be very heavy, but the laborers begin to construct a primitive pulley system with slabs of beams of wood and rope. They begin to hoist and pull the hefty slab blocking the tomb up towards the sky. The stale air from the dark hallway invites you inside with the promise of untold treasure. And as you all, I presume, wish to go inside to be the first ones to look at something that's been gone for millennia, or do you all stay outside as it's opened up?
I
What would you like to do?
am certainly itching to get in there, probably tapping my foot, but I gotta follow the safety protocols, and I'm just gonna call out to some of the hired hands around. Do we have any support beams? To keep the door open.
They point excitedly at their contraption of this multiple ropes holding it up on this beam pulley that they've made, and they point and give the universal communication of thumbs up and toothless grins.
Lady Emma would be hurrying her way forward now that I've read her backstory a little bit, as the funder of the expedition. She is super eager to get inside and see what treasures lie within, so she kind of hurries past the group and she goes, "Oh, come on, we need to find out what's in there, let's go." And she will hurry past everybody and venture inside.
As soon as you
James
step,
is sitting in the Jeep, leaning into the Jeep, smoking a cigarette, not really just kind of watching, protecting the area until he hears the boss calling for the people to come. He'll put the cigarette out and start slowly walking.
James, I'm gonna actually have you roll the first check. Let me open up. Oh, is it James? Let me
Yeah,
on.
I missed. Well, yeah,
Okay.
I missed it out.
No problem. So it looks like it's all fixed. I'm gonna have you roll a skill check, and this would be the equivalent of perception. This would be, it's not spotting something hidden really. Let me take a look at the skill list real quick. I'm gonna have you roll, I guess this would be
Spot hidden makes sense because there's listen, there's
yeah, it's not so much he's trying to see something hidden though, it's more like seeing all the other worker guys, so it's almost more like an empathy check, I want to say. I don't even know if
or
there's
psychology if he's trying to like read into
psychology. Yeah, let's go with psychology. Go ahead and roll psychology and see if you notice anything. No, you were just hearing the excited chatter of the different workers, but you don't really. I don't think you speak any Egyptian. Do you happen to have?
Doubt it. Well, he was. His backstory says he was in Egypt during the Great War, so maybe.
Man, I really should have looked at these skills a little bit more in advance. Do you have a
Language
language?
would be written.
Okay, well, we'll just go with the roll. 59 is not going to pass, and as you move down, you can see Lady Emma has already just moved inside, and if I will take the liberty to put your token inside here. Actually, it's pitch black inside. Do you happen to have anything like a match or a torch?
I freaking heard Becca.
Yeah, Becca's over there, but I don't even know why she laughed.
Because of what she posted in Kurt Games. Love you, Becca. I actually have a it says match hook, but I think that's a misspelling. It's supposed to be matchbook.
Yeah, so if you want to kind of light that, I will increase your... Is it just a match?
It says match hook. I have a cigarette case and a match hook.
1924 match hook. What is that?
Matches
I think
for
that's
the
basically just like a
cigarettes.
Mac. I think it's like what you... Maybe it's like an extension thing. I don't know.
I really think
Either
it's
way.
misspelled. I think it's supposed to be matchbook. Because I just looked up match hook and everybody's just like matchbook.
Yeah, okay, it's gonna be that. I need to mute Discord. It's gonna distract me so much. Okay, so you go in and light the match, and as you can see, the passageway extends further down, but everything is lined with hieroglyphics, which is probably quite fascinating. In addition, you also see a statue, what looks to be made of solid gold, just up beyond the passageway, probably right about there. Actually, there.
And again, the hired hands are just holding onto their ropes.
They're holding on, and now that you mention it, I'll also let you make that psychology check. It might make sense to be spot hidden. James, go ahead and just roll spot hidden. I'm going to use that as perception.
Yeah, I don't care if they don't have any support beams, but I want these ropes secure at least.
Yeah, you can see that the people all have gone from laughing and kind of working hard to just holding these ropes steady above the opening, keeping the limestone block elevated, but they all look kind of all of a sudden very quiet and almost spooked as they are looking inside the pitch black opening. They've all gone very quiet.
Okay. Just tie those ropes around something, please. And I will carry one of my candles up to the lit match, which is presumably burning down to its bottom end, and light one of those.
So you have a candle, I believe?
I have 4 of them.
Okay, I don't know what the distance is, but I'll give you 10 feet of
Not
light.
a clue.
We'll go with 10. I think that's still actually plenty compared to... Oh, I think the professor's the one shining so much light. Professor, you are all of a sudden not shining 25 feet of light.
Holy crap! There we go.
And I'll give...
My optimism has dimmed some.
No.
You removed your spectacles, and all of a sudden, whoosh.
Darkness.
So, yeah, so it looks like Elgin's kind of peeking inside, careful to make sure that all the hired hands are holding. And you can see they're all like tugging on these ropes, and everything's kind of suspended up a good 5 feet. You probably still have to duck underneath to go fully in, but you can see the illumination of Lady Emma's candle, and as you lit your own, or her match, and then from your candle now, you can see all the hieroglyphics covering the entire wall. So far, it's the professor's coming down, James tossing his cigarette and coming down the steps. You're all just...
In Egyptian, can I ask them for a torch?
Yes, absolutely. You speak Egyptian, I presume. So yeah, they will bring you a torch. If you do not have one in your possessions, you can... I don't even know how to add. You can have a torch, but I don't know how to add it.
Okay.
Oh, edit mode. That's why I need to do edit mode.
And then can I ask them what is wrong?
That sounds like a good roll opportunity.
Okay, what do I need to roll?
Persuade. Go ahead and roll a persuade check.
A shoot. Persuade. Combat, spell, possessions, settings, skills.
It should be on the third column on the right next to the firearms one, but on a couple down.
Oh, okay. Languages. Uh, okay, firearms. First aid, history, intimidate, jump.
To the right of those ones, there should be a third column.
Right. Persuade. There we go.
Nice. What you see in response is they all are shaking their heads dramatically, like just holding onto the rope. They don't say anything back. The one guy who comes down kind of tiptoes down a couple of the stairs and then pauses and just kind of like tosses the torch down to you the rest of the way and then runs back up to pick up his place on the rope. But they don't say anything. They just seem spooked. They don't really want to go in there.
Well,
Superstitious locals.
I guess as I'd enter in, which I guess I've already done, but I cannot.
You can't get through?
I cannot. I can. Yeah, I cannot get through, but I am through now.
Okay.
I would just say to the others, all right, I guess we'll make this quick. They don't want to secure their freaking ropes. And I would wander down a little bit.
Yeah, you can just see the corridor stretches. It smells kind of stale, like it's been the same air just kind of sitting here for years and years. There's more hieroglyphics across the wall. There's a couple cracks in it at some points as you kind of look around. And then there's kind of a little bit of a gust of wind blows and kind of the candle flickers a little bit. Lady Emma, are you still examining those? Do you have anything about where you can do anything with the hieroglyphics? I guess that'd be an archaeology check. I would imagine it might be a languages check. I don't think so.
I don't have any archaeology or
So
language. I have. I was gonna say I have library use, but I don't think I can make that.
Yeah, you'd basically have to like copy this down and take it to a library to try to like decipher it. So, but that's kind of fitting you. It's probably this is something that you're really interested in, but it's all Egyptian to you. You don't know what it actually is, but just really beautiful calligraphy or like drawing, I guess it would be for hieroglyphics. But it's just really kind of impressive, the amount of detail and craftsmen and carving and inks that have been all painted on.
Yeah, she's just mesmerized. So like in one hand she's holding the match, which is slowly dying down, and then the other one she's kind of like gently running her fingers along the hieroglyphs, and she looks over her shoulder and she goes, Professor, you've got to come see these. These are absolutely fascinating. It's and like it throws the match as it burns her finger, and she sticks her finger in her mouth, just like ow, and then she's just like in darkness with just the candle light from.
Yeah. Now, Elogen, you have was it a candle or a torch? You had the candle, right?
I have a candle, presumably on a little tray, because
yeah,
that's how you would best use it.
I don't know if it says anything about candle, like how much thing, but if there's a torch versus a candle, I kind of feel like the torch is going to be much brighter than a candle. So I'm trying to see how much light to give you. I think I'm going to keep it with 10 feet for that, and then I'm going to give Professor, you're the one with the torch. It just needs to be lit, but you'll probably actually get the full like 20 feet again, as it's illuminates pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
However, are you going to light the torch is the question.
How long does a torch last?
I don't know, what, 10 minutes? And depends on what kind of like how well it's made versus if it's like improvised.
You know what? I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna check out these hieroglyphs and see if this is legit or if this is a spoof or just some ramblings from people of the time. Like, is this a legit place?
Yep.
Yes, I would like to translate.
Okay. So there's no hieroglyphics on the stairs to translate, so you'd have to go inside. But Allergen for
Dynamic light barriers.
oh, are you all trying to get in but you're stuck? How about that?
Ta-da.
Perfect.
Okay, and now to confirm, you all wanted to go inside, right?
I'm at the door, but yeah, he would be just inside the door.
Okay. Yeah, and you can see that all your manservants are all like still holding the ropes, probably sweating profusely because of more the sun than anything else. But yeah, they're holding it steady. It looks to be they're not going anywhere. For inside Allergen, if you can roll a archaeology check as you begin to kind of look through and try to decipher these.
And can
I
I
would love to see
decipher,
that.
or do I need a roll for that?
Oh, wow. Nah, screw that. I'm spending 12 of my luck. No, what? No, the decrease. It's not a roll.
1 second. I'm trying to. Okay, yeah, no,
I
for
should be able
you,
to make this.
for the professor, you would roll Egyptian hieroglyphics. That is the language that you're gonna roll for.
Perfect.
So for Allergen, if you're wanting to deduct 12 luck, that would make a pass.
It's extreme success.
Look at that.
Wow.
So for Allergen, I'll do yours first. Are you spending the luck to succeed?
I am.
Okay. So as you are kind of looking around, you're not so much deciphering hieroglyphics as kind of checking the age of the stone, kind of looking around. There's that gold statue back by Emma, and you kind of go back and kind of pick it up and measure it. And yeah, it's made out of like solid gold. It's like this pitcher of pure gold. Definitely period accurate. This is definitely the tomb of the pharaoh that is in this adventure.
Sekpa Mefer the Third? Pharaoh of Sphinxes?
Oh yes, 100%.
Oh, look at the golden statue as they're examining it. Says, "Woo-wee! That thing's worth a pretty penny."
It looks fantastic. As for Professor Lockhart, as you, I don't know, do you have what about spectacles, a magnifying glass, or a chart, or what describe as you start poring over the
This is
everything?
my passion. I know hieroglyphs like the back of my fucking hand. I just never got to actually use it because I've been deciphering German for years.
So
As he shivers, he kind of does the anime scoop of the glasses and it just. You know that meme where that lady is just doing calculus?
Yes.
That. He's just like, oh my goodness, I see it all.
That's amazing. So I am poring over the notes that came with this, and I cannot find the pharaoh's name. So whatever, you find out kind of depictions of his deeds in life, his successes, his champions that things that he's done, kind of all the good and the tales of him. And then as you how far into the cavern or into the tunnel are you wanting to go? Are you just left to right, continuing up?
As I'm reading, I'm walking. Yeah, as I'm reading, I'm walking.
Okay, so we'll say you get probably halfway between Emma and Professor Allergen, rather, yeah, about there, when you start to get kind of weird transitions from the story where it's talking about his life, and of course, and how in his passing his tomb would be protected from all grave robbers, and anybody who were to try to disturb him in the afterlife would meet a terrible curse. And as you are kind of reading this, James, will you please make a roll for me? And I need to see the list one more time of character
no.
sheets.
Oh no, guys.
As I'm translating, I am speaking it. I am speaking it out loud.
Is it kind of like that speedily talking, almost absent-mindedly talking as you're reading, kind of going over, but everyone can hear you basically?
Yes, basically.
Excellent.
Em is on your heels, listening to every word that you have, just with sparkling brown eyes of just pure excitement.
Okay.
And Allergen doesn't even look back as he hears the final couple lines that Professor's reading, and just says back, I bet the curses were just what they thought certain natural deaths were. There's no such thing as curses. Though I will say there is a kind of debate about how long someone has to be dead or to what importance they are before it turns from grave robbing into archaeology. It steps forward.
As you step forward, there's a bit of a gust of air out of the darkness from up ahead, and your candle is extinguished. Professor, you are holding a torch. Your torch does not extinguish. Lady Emma, you don't have anything lit currently. You're just in the torchlight. And James, I will need you to roll a dodge check, please.
Uh-oh.
Probably.
The wind's coming for you.
That'll be a skill on the first column.
Oh.
Okay. You don't notice specifically like this gust of wind, but you do hear this this cry from outside. It sounds like probably a dozen men or so starting to scream, and not so much panic, but like "watch out" type of a thing. And you hear the rope snap, and the limestone block begins to fall heavily down. You jump to the side, but not quite enough to get underneath it before it falls. It only fell about 5 feet, and so you try to move to jump underneath it and slide out, just because you know you do not want to be probably stuck in here, but you're not quick enough, and you kind of have to abort the rolling under, just because it's falling down, and there's a big as the limestone blocks out the entire entrance.
Great. Now we're stuck in here.
With that, I will need everybody to roll a sanity check, please, as you kind of look back and you see the entrance sealed behind you.
Sure. Oh. If Allergen were to be within a light source, they would be able to see him just turn around and give the most unprofessional of angry, confused, and just disdain for those hired hands who couldn't put up a couple supports or tie down their ropes.
You knew it was going to happen.
I did know it was going to happen, but I'm still playing my role.
I am missing one sanity check. So
Yeah, where is it?
it's going to be a core attribute, so at the top of the character sheet. And then so it'll be I think it's the third.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, look.
Barely. Good job.
That's success. Now, Mackenzie, it says roll 1/1d2 loss. Do you know what that means?
Yeah. So basically between 1 or 2 sanities. So you would roll a 1d2.
Oh, fine.
That seems like hardly any sanity to lose, but okay.
It's just a gust of wind.
Okay. So Lady Emma and Allergen deduct 1 sanity point, and all my dreams of making you go insane have gone out the door for this game.
Hey, my sanity is nice now, so it's fine.
Nice.
But yeah, Allergen, your candle has snuffed out. Professor Lockhart, your torch, which you had acquired, it is luckily still kind of blowing. It's flickering a lot because there seems to be some sort of current of air coming from down the hall past Allergen, but it
this
is
as
still lit.
I'm translating like the type of curse?
Yeah,
Like I'm
it's right
still
after
reading.
you. Yeah, you started to read it out loud, and then this happened. Coincidence? Probably.
Probably. But I'm gonna continue reading what type of curse and or what it entails.
Okay. So you
If
can
it's
just
written.
yeah, it talks about what it is, but with your extreme success, you can basically continue down, um, moving forwards. I'm gonna give you a spot hidden roll real quick as you're kind of following along these hieroglyphics.
Okay, spot hidden. That's in.
It'll be a skill. I think it's on the third
Right
category
column.
again. Yeah,
Yep.
the right column.
Far right.
Right.
It's all in alphabetical
Okay.
order too.
Awesome! Spot hidden, got it. Failure!
Sleight of hand.
Wrong one.
No, never mind. Spot hidden, spot hidden.
Success.
Success!
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Oh, I just realized this is where you were.
Oh, the Valley of the Kings. Oh, my Egyptian side is going crazy right now. I love ancient Egyptian mythology, so this is totally up my alley.
Yes, I love it.
I don't know nothing I've ever seen a picture of the Valley of the Kings, but I certainly know of it.
Yes. Well, this is James Cobb first time to the Valley of the Kings then.
That was me speaking as Eric.
Wouldn't it be cool to go though? That'd be amazing.
It would be.
So cool.
Okay, I need you to give me one moment, please.
I guess I'll set my candle tray on the ground and then use one hand to cover the air current and strike another match and light up my candle again.
We need to have matches on our character sheet to have matches.
I think they do have them on the character sheet under possessions.
Yeah.
I just have a revolver, bullets, and a fighting knife, but I was thinking he would have something to light his cigars.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you click edit on the slide, you can add in an item and add matches. I don't know how many matches were in a case back then, but I'm not super concerned about it. So for the professor, as you are reading over these hieroglyphics, your hand slides across this wall over here, and you notice that one of the cracks is like it's a very deep crack, deep more so than any of the others. It's almost as if behind the wall, the crack completely separates the limestone, and there's something behind it. And then also the etchings seem to tell the story of the pharaoh who possessed great powers beyond those of any ordinary mortals. It's kind of describing as you go down this wall. The distorted images on the panels show him smiting those that don't follow him, and many that suffered and perished under his rule, other achievements. And you also learned that the pharaoh rejected the concept of an afterlife completely and claimed that it held nothing compared to the sights and visions he could unveil in this waking world. His followers would behold the truth, while those unworthy would rest with the old gods in an early grave. So, it's a very strange pharaoh.
Well, I'm sure he was fun at parties. It's hard to believe something like that would be worn to tomb. If you don't believe it, this is the passage into the afterlife, is to have something like this. I'm surprised that he would want something such elaborate as a tomb.
Well, when you know there's not an afterlife, what better way to preserve yourself than a giant monument?
sure they used it as a trap for him if he became too powerful as said on.
Come on.
Yeah, sure, that too. They probably did believe that. I guess I'll try to look into this peephole.
Okay. As you get over to there, you can see that the source of kind of the wind or air that had been blowing through, it's kind of stabilized now that it's sealed again. But there's just at the far end of the passage is a kind of a sealed archway. There's etched symbols and hieroglyphics similar to those seen at the door slab at the tomb entrance, but several sections of plaster, a small ornate table, and a gold chest sit in front of the archway. The items seem to have been dragged through a large hole that has been chiseled out from the bottom of the left-hand corner. You should be able to see kind of this area here along the right side of the slab. Something's been dragged through these items perhaps, and it's been chiseled out from the bottom of the plaster wall. A crouching adult could easily squeeze through the gap into whatever lies beyond. The table is considerably rotten, and a heavy gold chest is ornately decorated and can be opened, if you wish.
Can I fidget with the crack?
Mm-hmm. Yep, for that, it's a crack. You can see there's kind of something, a chamber or something beyond it. You can't really see much more than that. How do you want to fidget with it?
I kind of want to see if I can put my fingers through the crack, kind of see if it's like a doorway or like.
Okay,
try to see if there's no traps.
Yeah, you can. I'd say with your spot hidden roll, you can tell that it's not like a booby trap thing. If anything, it's like a secret alcove or something beyond the wall. You can maybe get a finger through if you kind of work your way through it as kind of dust gets separated from it. You can kind of poke through, and yeah, there's something behind. There's some sort of cavity behind the wall.
Is there still wind even with the door closed?
No, that pretty much is seized now at this point. But there was briefly for a few moments before the collapse, and then once the thing closed, the wind carried on a little bit and then stopped.
Do we feel until this air current has been cut off, you don't feel it moving in any particular direction?
Yeah, you can tell that like now, Elegant's candle, now that it's relit, it's not getting blown back out. Like that wind current seems to have stopped.
I wonder if we could break this wall. I want to break this wall.
Okay.
I would hate to destroy all of this. Do we have? I will be writing notes before I break the wall down, but I want to attempt to break the wall.
Okay. Sure. So as you begin to kind of copy over what you're seeing in the hieroglyphics, it's going to take you a minute to do that. What is everybody else wanting to do?
I'm gonna lead the way. So there's an arch there and the dugout tunnel there. Can I fit in both, or can I just fit in?
You can crawl through that right side if you wanted to. I think this is kind of like where the table.
Dust.
Yeah, that's where the table was, and then if you wanted
that makes
to go
sense. This looked like an
through.
arch.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, I would want to work my way through. See what's over there.
You know, I think you're right. Based off of the notes, you can't see, but I thought it was the other way around. I think those maybe are just rocks or items or whatever. But yeah, let me go to dynamic lighting and open this doorway. So you should be able to kind of crawl through there now if you wish. So as you kind of come through here, your field of vision is just completely filled with amazing items and artifacts all over the place. It's filled to the brim with stacks of treasure, and that some of them almost reach to the ceiling. There's couches, chairs, tables, stone tablets, statuettes, musical instruments, tapestries, vases, sealed jars, possibly containing remains of food, maybe, or spice or grain or other materials. Bowls, ostrich feather fans, chests, jewelry, trinkets, just combs. There's a chariot made of gold. There is a lot of stuff. There's this rowboat over here. I think you can see it. I guess you might have to move closer into the room. But yeah, you're able to squeeze past through the cobwebs, and inside here you're just surrounded by what looks to be treasure. Anything from Lady Emma or James Cobb?
James would look at the pull out an unlit cigarette and singing, and kind of say out loud, you know, we might if we get some smoke, we might be able to see where the path if where the smoke is going to.
Follow the breeze. That's that's quite a good idea. Here, let me light that for you. And she'll hurry over with her matches and strike one and light your cigarette before shaking it out. And then she would go to Professor Lockhart and say, so with the description of everything that's going on, we can anticipate that we're probably not going to find anything to do with the Book of the Dead here, but do you think we'll be able to find historical records in relation to what his belief was?
Most likely he would have it addressed within the walls, just like the story here. But I guess it's a 50-50 chance, but more on your side, so 75.
I see. Great. Let's see. And she kind of like runs her hands along the carvings. She's like, this is extraordinary. But James does have a point. We should probably try to figure out where the breeze is going and where.
He'd take a cigarette and kind of like hold the cigar and kind of hold it out and kind of kneel the walls, kind of like looking for it to get sucked in any seams or cracks or anything like that.
There's
Okay.
a crack right here.
Go ahead.
I'm about to bust the wall down. Trying to. Anyway. Sorry.
Yeah, so I was going to have James, if you can roll a spot hidden check as well, and I'm going to give you a bonus die, which I don't know how to do on the character sheet, just because you don't even need a bonus die.
Yes!
Oh. Okay, that's fine. You didn't need it anyways. So you find that there's actually a series of cracks along several of these different walls. There is... Oh, I do not want to move that. There's basically the whole section next to the professor on this wall and on this wall. Both of them have just seams and cracks, like it's almost been opened up and reclosed again. Definitely there's still a couple different passageways behind there. On top of that, you can hear from back towards the entry some creaking, like almost like stone grinding a little bit on stone a little bit.
Like they're trying to open it, or
it's hard to tell from there. I think that would be a separate listen check, which should be its own thing.
Speaking of listening,
listen under languages.
Through the
God, Eric, you're rolling great tonight.
through the little cubby tunnel thing,
Yes.
there is the light flicker of my candle, and you all just hear an echoing, "Ah, thank the Egyptian Parthenon, or Pantheon." My ass is saved. There's so much good stuff in here.
You found items, and you just hear as Lady Emma just starts shuffling her way through the little hole.
Hey! Archaeological finds.
Archaeological supporter. I'm the reason you're even on this expedition.
Now, Lady Emma, as you get to that point, is a very narrow passageway that's been kind of chiseled and knocked out. You'll have to get kind of on your hands and knees or squatting and kind of wiggling through. Is that something you want to do?
Yes, please.
Okay, then you can do it. That's fine. Back down over by James Cobb. You are kind of going over and trying to listen, and you can hear, sure enough, what sounds like probably a dozen or 24 voices of just Egyptian shouts and some clinking and clanging, almost like they're hitting the rock with crowbars or trying to lift it back up or reattach the ropes or something. And the stone slab seems to shift a little bit, like they're almost making some progress to kind of hoist it with probably just brute force. But then it falls down again, and there's another and a big split runs up the wall.
So he moves up to the professor and will kind of yell after the lady. And well, the good news is that it looks like they're trying to open the door. And
Phenomenal.
Okay.
to the professor, he would looks like we've got some cracks, some airflow through here. And points out all the places where kind of the airflow and the smoke from the cigar was kind of blowing.
Absolutely. Now, how do you want to try to look behind these cracks, Professor? Lockhart, you were wanting to crack open them, so that would just be like trying to bash them with like your fists, or what would you like to do?
Yes.
Okay, so that will be it would be kind of just like, I guess, a strength check. I could make you roll a combat unarmed, I guess. If you'd like to roll a combat unarmed. It'd be under weapons. Okay.
Could I use one luck point to go?
I was about to ask
That's
that if
amazing.
you wanted to add. So subtract, if you had either 50 or 60, it just drops down by 1 point. And then, yeah, you kind of solid form. You just hit the wall with your fist and it cracks, and then a follow-up punch, and then there's kind of a hole breaks through, very dusty and brittle. The limestone carving fragments and breaks, and on this side you can see this alcove, and inside, staring you in the face, is, now that since it's in the torchlight, the muzzle of a dog staring at you.
Is it? Ooh.
I need you to actually, let's see. You can. Well, the thing is, would the professor of languages find a mummified dog staring it in the face? Would that be a little creepy?
I would be expecting it, in my mind.
You would be expecting it?
This is a mummified tomb. I'm expecting mummies at every corner.
Okay. I will let you roll a sanity check with the bonus die.
Okay.
Because I think you're probably right, but that would still be kind of creepy.
Hard success.
Yeah, so basically 7. So you get an extreme success. You are not even faced, and you just kind of like peek behind it, and it looks like this mummified dog has been stowed here. Probably one of the pharaoh's own hounds. But yeah, it doesn't.
Pats the head, good boy.
Perfect.
It crumples to dust.
I'm the goodest of boys.
Probably, actually, yeah. It kind of it's been propped up so that it can be standing, and it kind of like collapses down on one of the legs. Yeah, it's dead. It's no zombie dogs here.
What did you just touch? You hear
Good boy.
very lightly.
Yeah, meanwhile in this room, Lady Emma, as you kind of stand up, you just see the candlelight, which I kind of feel like a candle would be a little bit less light than that. So I'm going to deduct it to 5 and see what that looks like. I feel like that for a candle, I think that's a little bit more appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as you are kind of holding the candle aloft, Lady Emma comes up and you can see like this boat made of beautiful craftsmanship. All the gold is glittering around. What would you like to do?
Do you happen to have another candle? Get a little bit brighter in here.
I do, but not too many.
Can you spare one more?
They last a while. He would pull out another tray because sometimes you need more angles of light. And shoves a candle on there and then tilts it over and gets it lit.
Did I hear you requesting directional lighting?
Oh, no, I was just...
DM gets happy.
No, I'm not going to do that. I think it's too hard to turn them. Oh, did I just delete your whole...
It went out now.
Yeah. Are you
Peter
sure?
was like, I'm on board for this. But yeah. Peter has
I can't
no
see
more light.
anything.
Shoot. What did
Oh,
I
I
do?
got caught.
Stay in the darkness.
Am I on the wrong person? Okay. Allergen. Let's try this. What happened? Okay.
No sync.
Goodbye.
And with that, Allergen vanishes into the darkness. Nope.
I feel like that's a song.
Probably.
No sync.
Bright light 5. I think that's fixed. Should be.
There we go.
Wow.
Okay, back in the passageway, Professor Lockhart and James Cobb. If you wish, you can go through the rest of those as you can punch through the walls with your bare fists and crunch, 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 break, snap, crack. You one by one find these other entombed, mummified hounds staring you in the face for the most part. One of them's already collapsed, probably from just age and partially turned to dust. But these alcoves seem to be the additional mummified tombs for the pet dogs.
They're all good boys.
Both of you can make a listen check, which should be under languages, I think.
Okay. Just listen.
Oops. Come on, James.
Oh, what the? I thought it was you guys making listen checks. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, both of you, because you're still in the passageway.
Me to both of you. I thought
You and your rolls tonight. This is amazing.
Oh,
So,
right on.
so you can hear these cracking noises coming from the shadowy hall further down.
From the halls behind me.
Yes.
I'm very concerned about the sounds behind me.
Oh, you don't hear anything. You're in no different.
Oh,
room.
no, I hear crumbling walls. I don't hear the gentle thrum of whatever that is. I just hear the other two messing around with the walls.
Oh,
You hear that?
the
Sounds
punch,
like
punch, crunch.
movement.
Oh, little guard statues. They're like alligators.
You gonna get stabbed. You're on the other side of the room and close to it, you gonna get stabbed.
Come on.
I'm gonna call it.
Oh, that looks movable. Maybe.
Yep. So, are you just exploring through here a little bit more and kind of looking around, or do you want to go anywhere else? Is there anywhere else that you can see even?
Oh. Okay.
I don't know.
There's just a tunnel this way. But
Okay.
did this look like it was any sort of
So
like
it looks like there's an archway there, which had been like sealed through with like plaster or rock, and it has been broken. So it looks like let's see if there's a written detail. This would be from the Okay. So as you come through here, you can see that there is a chance to roll a bunch of things. I don't think any of you are doing any of those specifically. So you can take a closer look and you can see that there's a sealed doorway, which is the one that you're right by there. This sealed doorway has two large statues on either side. It's of the entrance. They look to be human, impaled with long spears is what the statues look like to hold them up. If you wish, you can inspect them as it is. They just look to be fairly gruesome for a statue.
Sure,
But
I'll inspect the alligator human that's stabbed with a spear.
I will
Okay.
inspect the doggo that is stabbed with a spear. But if they're gruesome looking, can I roll an occult check?
So it's gruesome in the sense that like you don't think you've seen any statues that look like they've been skewered by a spear.
Oh, okay. What kind of check would you like for that?
This would be an archaeology check. It says.
I would love to.
Oh, I'm not good.
I
At
don't.
this.
I mean, you've got light. I don't think I'm gonna make you roll for it. As soon as you kind of get close to them and look at them, there's the crocodile and like the dog head mask thing, but underneath is an actual body of someone who is skewered with a spear, in order to stand upright. And their heads have, in fact, not. As you look closer, it's not so much that they're wearing a mask as that they've actually had their heads severed and replaced with that of a mummified crocodile and jackal. These discoveries are going to require sanity rolls.
Bonk.
Sanity.
I see weird stuff. Maybe not this weird, but still.
Ooh,
I-
extreme success.
I expected this. I'm like, I started this expedition. This is exactly what I expected to see. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's just all fine. The only thing that I've been able to lose for sanity in this game is some wind and 1 point of sanity.
Boo.
So funny.
Spoopy breezes.
So, but yes, you can see that. Yeah, they're mummified, ancient bodies, and again, they're held aloft by a spear. But they seem to be guarding this room, or this chamber. There's no doorknob or handle or anything. It's just kind of a closed barrier. And then the guards are holding weapons, so they both have like an axe, and the crocodile, actually, yeah, the crocodile-headed man holds a bronze Egyptian axe, whereas the jackal-headed man holds a sickle-like sword or a khopesh. Both weapons are made of gold and look to be in good condition except for being tarnished, but they could be worth something on their own. Then again, the bodies might be worth something on their own too, if you go to a museum. So, but yeah, the stone slab here is massive and looks to be tremendously heavy.
Well, I did see another passage.
There was another. We could call James. He's definitely going to be strong enough to be able to at least help with this.
I'm not sure. You two, are you planning on staying there?
Don't wander off. I'll go check.
Coming. I am coming.
We found more stuff, and Lady Emma
So
will
did we.
peek her head. Oh. We found two corpses missing their heads and a secret tunnel. What did you find?
Good boys.
Good
A couple of tunnels off the side here. I think I hear movement.
movement. They hear movement. Movement within tunnels, apparently. Do we want to go there first? Or do we want to split up?
Are you crazy, girl?
Yeah, I think for the both of you, well, James at least made his listen check. You can hear that kind of the sound of the cracking of the stone might have ended a little bit, like the whoever was trying out the other side with the door, maybe they stopped, but you can hear the sound of some like almost like silt pouring down.
I heard it coming from here.
No, it's from the passageway behind you by the entrance.
Oh, okay. Different story then.
Oh, so they're working on getting us out.
Yeah, you don't seem to be having a lot of luck from what I can see from this end, but they're trying. I'm sure they want their wages.
I'm sure they will work post haste to get us out. I assure you of that. However, we do have some really neat artifacts in here. Additionally, a passageway was found as well. Would you two care to join us? It's a bit of a tight squeeze, but you can make it through.
He just looks at the professor and
Yeah, the torch is the best light that you have, and as you kind of squeeze through and pop back up, you can see the room full of all the treasures. Everything around is wealth beyond your wildest dreams, almost.
Isn't it magnificent?
wow.
Yes, the etchings are almost untouched. He doesn't care about the treasure. He's looking at all of this wording and all of the everything decorating it, like labels, anything with script or scribe on it, he is just drooling over.
So, Allergen, as you kind of move up there, you can see the archway has been broken through, and basically the passage is open. As you proceed up, you can see it leads into yet another room. This is like it's called the Annex, and this room is modestly filled, mostly with more religious artifacts. As you kind of peek in, you can see the walls are lined with almost, this is a 3-inch high funerary cones made from clay. I'm not sure what that is.
Ooh, we got some bones here.
Yep.
This is really impressive. Find of a lifetime.
Do you have to be so sarcastic anytime we go on one of these adventures? I'll take your stunned silence as a yes.
I wasn't necessarily. I wasn't being sarcastic, doll. But you don't pay me for you don't pay me for looking at words and writing.
I definitely don't pay you for your wit and charm either. Let's go.
Inside, on the southern and northern walls, in the candlelight, as you both kind of come in, you can see that there's a huge mural on either wall. at the eastern wall where Elgin is, you see this shrine which has been erected. It stands an inverted 5-foot-tall golden ink, and hundreds of golden tendrils reach out from the symbol, and while the tentacles are motionless, they nevertheless give the impression of movement and are distinctly unsettling to look at with your candlelight flickering. You may roll history or a language, Egyptian hieroglyphs, or an occult, if you wish to kind of try to see what the ink is a symbol of.
It's
Cult history hieroglyphs. I don't think I have a history.
History should be... It's under firearms. I don't know why.
It is.
You know,
Oh man. Okay.
hey, that's a pass though.
There you go.
Unless you want to
That's
make it a hard
hilarious.
pass.
Ooh, you can learn more.
I
They
do.
literally take you by one.
I do. I'm gonna do it.
It looked at you funny. It's a hard pass.
So, so you're between Allergen kind of thinking about where he's seen these in like history books, and Professor Lockhart translating it. You can kind of together, you determine that the ink is a symbol of life. However, the inverted aspect and the reaching of the tentacles speak of willful desecration and malign intent. There's a large mat at the shrine's base, and on it sprawls a human skeleton clothed in decaying tatters. Beside the corpse is a satchel and a small sack. Or almost what looks to be a backpack, almost.
Yeah, I would like to discover the contents. I'd also like to imagine that I have gloves.
Sure, yeah, I can see you wearing gloves. So inside the shrine, also I'll read this out, that it holds countless pieces of ancient incense in small compartments honeycombed throughout the base of the room. Nearly 100 tiny statues of men stand around the base of the shrine, and that can be an archaeology roll, it says.
Oh, I'd love to.
And while you're doing it, the skeleton itself, the ribs are crushed and the skull is fractured. One or both injuries likely led to the individual's death. So, with an archaeology, you can identify the tiny figures as shabti, small funerary statuettes intended to act as slaves in the afterlife. And again, there are nearly about 100 of these surrounding this. Were you also examining the little satchel? Or are you bumping it to
I would spend another point. I'm doing whatever the archaeology one is more so than the satchel.
Okay. So, looking around, it looks like the body is not ancient, not by any means. It looks like it's maybe less than 10 years old, even. Like someone maybe has gotten in here and died. But despite that, it is still a skeleton. It's not like a mummified corpse or like a decayed corpse. It's an actual skeleton. But again, it's less than 10 years old is what you can find. You can find on it that the tattered rags actually have like markings from basically, I guess it would be Germany. And inside the satchel, you can find it's filled with gold and bronze jewelry. And on top of that, there's a trowel, a flask half filled with ancient, or not ancient water, but fetid water. It's been just stuck in there for a while. There's a German passport. There's a stick of dynamite and a journal, which is leather bound and written in German. The passport says it belongs to Sasha Karner. who was born August 2nd, 1880, in the place of residence Berlin.
Where's Sasha?
Hmm.
Emma, can I make you roll a listen check?
Listen check, sure. I listen poorly.
You're staring at confusion at the wall, more curious than paying attention. But it's fine. There's nothing to hear.
Speaking of the wall, are these tentacles?
Those are tentacles, yes. They reach out in the mural depicting reaching out to touch the pyramid Ankh, I think it said it was.
Okay.
Yeah, so it says hundreds of golden tentacles reach out from the symbol. While the tentacles are motionless, they nevertheless give the impression of movement and are distinctly unsettling to look at. And that would be the history check, which actually the professor already succeeded at this. And as you're deciphering these, that's where you discover that the ink is a symbol for the life, and the inverted aspect and the reaching tentacles speak of the willful desecration of and malign intent.
Ooh.
So it
Evil,
looks very
very evil.
This is quite a discovery. This is astounding. Also rather ominous, but astounding nonetheless. She kind of like traces her fingers along the eerie tentacles, just in awe.
Is James doing anything with all this, or are you more just standing, kind of waiting for everybody else also?
He's standing guard.
Okay, then you can roll a listen, and if you're actually standing guard, I'll have you roll that with a bonus die. So once you roll, I can click the bonus.
Extreme success.
Oh my God, Eric!
So
You have a -4.
I'm not even sure
Lucky.
how that's working, but
he's got the hat and the. No, he's not wearing a hat, but
yeah, you hear something from the passageway behind you. The sound of a groaning stone against stone, grating. It's almost as if when you first had lifted that limestone door on the outside, when you first discovered the tomb, or the hallway, the passageway, the one that had closed behind you when the rope snapped. But you hear a sound very similar to that, as like
closer than the
limestone
main
block.
entrance.
Oh, it sounds like it's in the next room. Something is. And remind me, do you have dynamic lighting on? What is your light source?
Oh,
Is it just
he
your cigarette or no?
he hasn't had one.
Okay.
He's been.
Okay.
He's been mooching off of everyone else's light.
I mean, we touched on him having that just to light a cigarette, cigars or lighter or something, but he hasn't really been using it since he's just been standing guard watching over the people, his ally, or the people who were paying him to be protected.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a bunch more I did not read. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at reading scripted adventures. This is not my specialty. But the mural on the southern wall, which is actually this one, if I'm not mistaken, depicts a large painting of a smiling, black-robed pharaoh holding an oversized set of scales on which a heart is being weighed against the platter of a dead animal. A kneeling figure with the head of a wolf has his chest wound that is being stretched open by two small men, identical to the Shabti figurines, and there are some hieroglyphs below the painting. The archaeology check that was previously done, so this would be, with your extreme success, This would be
Yeah.
Aladin kind of getting in, to get a better look here, kneeling and dusting it off, blowing all the sand away. And you can identify that the kneeling, dog-headed figure may be a representation of an Egyptian god, either Anubis or Set. The scene shares similarities with to the weighing of the heart ceremony, where the gods judged if a person could enter into the afterlife. With a hard success, the investigator believes the deceased animals on the scale are representations to other powerful Egyptian gods. Thus, the image may be a form of ceremonial perversion or desecration. In addition, as you translate the writing on the wall, the trial has been passed. Forever they shall be tied to this earth. Through their faithful beating heart, strong of body, awaiting the return of their master. And then the mural on the north wall depicts a sickening scene of an Egyptian city being attacked by an army of horrific beings. There are two notable types of creatures, those with the bodies of men and the heads of animals who wield various weapons, and those with the bodies of animals and the heads of men. This will be a Cthulhu mythos roll if anybody has that.
Where would I find that?
That's an excellent question.
I think it's
that
on the left.
would be mythos.
It's on the left, under art
Art craft. Yeah. So if anybody has mythos,
I do not.
Art
I
and
have a
craft?
cult, but I don't have mythos.
I mean, it's there, but it's also a 0.
yeah.
so
I have a
yeah.
credit rating.
You can roll credit to see what this is. Sure. Go take a loan at the bank and see. You can roll an occult check. I'll let you do that too.
Okay, I'll take a cult. I will take a cult.
Okay. That's a hard
That's
success.
an extreme success.
Are you going to do that? Okay.
No, I haven't.
Didn't you? Oh, a 10 under 12. I read that backwards. So yeah, I thought it was a 12 over a 10, but it's a 10 under a 12. With that, you can identify these hideous creatures as the children of the Sphinx, which is something you actually probably have heard some German archaeologists talking about at some point. They've never really paid attention, but the black tendrils bursting from the ground and sky tearing the city and its occupants apart. Something about that rings a bell. If someone's ever mentioned that to you in your life, you probably would remember it. And it seems to be something depicted in this mural, which is thousands of years old. Now, some of the creatures eat corpses that have been laid upon tables, while others frolic in the chaos. A pharaoh robed entirely in black is depicted with an impossibly dark face. Basically, there's no face on the mural at all for it. And seated atop a pyramid-like throne borne by the hybrid monsters, he is being carried through the horrific scene. As you are looking at this mural, who's been involved with this so far? Have all three of you except for James? I feel like all three of you.
I'm
have
pretty
been
sure.
involved.
Yeah.
So all three of you can roll a sanity check. Meanwhile, James is looking out the door, trying to see what it is that he has heard.
Oh no, that's a failure.
Sis.
Hard success.
Damn.
Not phased.
Nice.
Like, hey, this
I
is a
know,
great
right?
painting.
This is beautiful.
Okay.
Normally, weight the weight of a feather, not against a dead animal, but that's something I would know in character.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 2 more sanity loss for those who failed. So, when looking at either of the 2 murals, you can identify the robed figure as the Black Pharaoh, which is an avatar of the crawling chaos, Nyarlathotep. Oh, I see. Meanwhile, James, as you poke your head out, you strike a match, unless you're wanting to obtain a light source of alternate means.
We only have the one torch, and that's about so that's all we would have.
Okay. You can hear with your success that you rolled earlier from the sound, the grating of the limestone being kind of tossed aside, and there's just this rumble, boom. And from that, I think probably the rest of you, your party behind you, can hear something of that kind of rock being thrown. But for you, in the kind of the passageway, you hear a footstep.
Hand goes to the pistol on my belt, while the one hand holds up the match. The other hand is gripping the hilt of the pistol.
Okay. Um, okay. What do you think is this noise? What do you think would that be?
I don't know. It seems too early for them to have gotten the stone open again, and they would be bringing light. So he doesn't necessarily believe in curses, but he's something's moving.
Okay. Yeah, and you can hear it coming from this direction. There's a footstep, and then another footstep.
Professor, torch.
I hand him my torch for a second.
Oh, don't. I mean, he stresses more for you to wave it out here or not.
Oh, okay. I will leave it. I will poke it out like this.
Bloop. With that, there's another couple footsteps. And I need the two of you to roll sanity checks, please.
What is that? Oh
And,
Big. It's big, whatever it is. Sanity is.
oh no!
no! Oh no!
Okay,
This is my first failure.
where did I put it? Oh no.
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm juggling so many tabs. Hopefully, you can all imagine epic music. Or
Dun, 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 dun,
I can,
dun.
oh, sanity is a core thing.
yeah,
Okay.
so, and this is going to be 2 failures. Oh, how exciting! You both lose 3 sanity. And then
3
how
sanity.
okay, so things are about to get interesting.
Ah,
How do we do? Is there an initiative?
It makes sense.
figuring that out.
It makes sense. He's calm with like the door closing and things like that, but seeing a supernatural, whatever this thing is.
I need to try to figure out how to do initiative. Sorry. 1 second.
The professor's just like, the curse is real! Grab your britches, we're about to brawl!
Grab my britches and what?
We're about to brawl!
Okay. So
He's ready for a
everybody
fisticuffs.
everybody goes in order of their dexterity. So what is everybody's dexterity?
45.
I will click on my token and roll dex and then change it.
Oh, if that works, great. I just don't know if it's gonna work, so I'm adding everybody manually
Okay,
just
it
in
did not
case. Okay.
I'm at 60. 60. No, not 960. 60. I am the
Mine is
fastest of
45.
fast.
45. 45, sir. Sorry, I'm trying to type it in. There we go.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, good news. James, you see this towering creature. It must be 10 feet tall almost, as it's coming through.
Can't quite make out what it is. It's like a crocodile. I only see half the token.
Yeah, you can see the abomination coming through as a huge muscular man draped in decaying linen. Its skin is slick. You can see bubbles of pus and bile dripping down, pouring through open sores. Its head is that of a large African golden wolf, whose eyes glow red with a burning and maddening hatred for all life, because it's dramatic. And it often crouches down and walks on all fours, sniffing the air and making panting and growling noises, while at other times it walks on two legs and emits a blood-chilling roar. It also says stuff like its strength is incredible and can easily crush a man with a single blow, but I don't think we need to get into that part, as we would like to know what James is doing at this point.
Great. Fantastic. Yeah. Oh shit.
Ooh.
Crack as the revolver spits lead towards the monster. How lucky is James? Do you want to spend any luck, or does a shot go wide?
That's a 1. Yeah, I'm gonna spend luck because
So that
so,
will.
need a lot of luck, but
Oh yeah, if you land a hit with just lucky, almost like a western, you it's already drawn, I suppose, but like you just shoot from the hip and it hits, you'll deduct 31 luck, and for
I'm the hero of
damage,
camping. I got some luck.
so that's going to be a handgun. Roll 1d10 if it didn't automatically, which I don't think it does. So you can just roll 1d10 for me. And you just see kind of this explosion of mass behind it as the bullet goes through the torso and out the back, and there's just this spray into the darkness of whatever blood or innards you shot. The thing is 10 foot tall and roars into the sky. At that point, Emma and Allergen inside the room, you hear the gunshot, you hear the roar. Sanity check, please.
Sure. Oh. Oh, nice. Oh shit.
Okay. That
Lady
is
Emma, are you
3
What's
sanity
the
points
code?
for Allergen.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, the noise shocks you, and then the roar, that's nothing that should be inside here. It's very unnatural. So James, you shot. Is there anything else you wanted to do on your turn? I believe you can kind of like D&D move, shoot, and do kind of your standard couple actions.
How big is that doorway?
Which doorway?
The doorway we're in. Can it reasonably fit through that doorway?
So it's an archway which has been previously sealed and has been broken. It is probably a 6-foot archway, so it would have to bend down to go through, but it could go through.
You're gonna push the professor back, assuming you are willing to go, and then try to get back behind him. Or try to push the professor back in there if you're willing to.
Yeah, perfect. You can, unless the professor does not want to budge.
Budge.
Hit it in the face.
Budge, Professor Budge.
I want hit it in the face.
Well, you are not terrified by it based off of your roll. So if you want, you can just be like, no, go back, and just kind of like wave him past.
I could wave him past.
If you want to. I mean, it's
Yes.
if your character doesn't want to move, you can motion, and then that's going to kind of bounce back to James Cobb. Do you want to actually stay where you're at since he's not moving, or do you want to go back anyways?
Well, he thinks this professor's kind of stupid, but the professor's not the one paying my check, so no, he's just gonna move back and
Okay.
No. I will do something smart. I will have him push me on the side, but I will be ready Can I hold an action? I'm not sure how this
Well,
action kind of works.
so this is still technically James's turn. I'm just kind of, I'm letting it be more fluid than D&D is, I suppose. I don't know if that's the way it is,
Okay.
but it's the way that feels good to me. So it's kind of, he's offering to kind of push you back, and you're declining essentially, and so he carries on, and
Oh,
then
no. Okay, then I'll take it. I'll take it.
okay, so then it would be okay. So you are letting him kind of pull you back inside.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, you both kind of get inside. This monster kind of disappears from view. Emma, inside the room, gunshot, roar. What do you do?
There would probably be a shout of James, what is it?
Big!
An unholy abomination that is undead.
Okay, thanks, Professor. That's a lot more information than I originally received. Looking around, is there another way out of this room?
That is going to. If you want to search for it, you didn't see anything originally. If you want to try to spot some sort of passageway or something, that would be a spot hidden check.
Yes, that's what I would like to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend luck.
Okay.
And let's see. Yeah, so I'm gonna spend luck to make that a success. So I'm gonna spend 10 luck.
Okay. You're holding the candle still, which is still lit, and you kind of race over to the walls, kind of like look around, ignoring the mural itself, and just try to find cracks, crevices, anything you can find. And with a success, you do not find anything in the form of a way out. There's all the little figurines scattered around about this that thing, but all the walls and the ceilings and the floor all looks to be intact. The only way out is where James Cobb is currently posed with his revolver.
Okay, I will as I'm shouting, as I'm going through and I'm like tapping the walls, trying to feel for any sort of breeze or anything that might have any sort of give. I'm gonna look over my shoulder and say, I don't think there's another way out. We may need to find something else to do. But she's like, my turn is spent scouring the walls looking for an exit.
Okay. What about Allergen?
Boy, I don't know. I think the first thing I'm just gonna shout out is, "This is the least exclusive locked out tomb I've ever seen." Guess I'll. Screw it. I'm not getting cornered. I'm gonna push my way out. I don't know how far I can go though.
That's a great question. I actually don't even know. So you should have speed somewhere.
I have an appearance of 16. That's great.
You appear 16. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Not possessions. Combat, maybe. Shoot, I don't even know how fast you can go.
Maybe it's like.
Let's use a meter tool and say you
Maybe
can
it's
go.
standard?
I don't know.
There's size. Size is what defines your movement.
Oh,
Okay.
sure. Why not?
Right.
I have 50.
Cthulhu speed. I will let you move however is reasonable seeming.
Okay, well, I started in the back corner, and
Wait, so
there's...
a number of yards a character can move is 5 times your move rate. What's the move rate then? There is this thing here. I don't know if I can show it. Let me just copy. Or no, I'll do this real quick. Can you see this?
Swim?
Oh, it's in combat. Move rate. It's in combat. So like Emma's is
Oh, is that up
8.
top? No, it's
No,
not.
it's under the combat tab.
Yeah.
Can you see this thing down here?
Oh, there I am. Sure.
There is a token. I copied it, but there's this
Rules like
scale.
it's 8.
So if it's 8, then that is
Mm.
the number of yards is 5 times your move rate. So
3, 7. So like 42 meters, it looks like.
yeah, that should be correct. Should be.
Oh, this is the
measured.
fake one. Whatever. This gets to be here.
Yeah, you can just leave it there if you want.
There.
Do you want me to change the grid to meters?
It doesn't really matter. I'm just following. But I would
Do you
see this.
see it? Yeah, that's another sanity check, please.
Sure.
Ooh, that's surprising. However, as it's right up close to you,
Yes.
I wonder if it should be a hard success. I'm not gonna lie. um,
Oh,
no,
my
you-
brain is going on hyperdrive, rationalizing whatever this is. This is some animal that worked its way in here.
big freaking animal. You pass. That's fine.
There are big freaking animals. In fact, this would be even more terrifying if it was like a hippo. That's scary. But
Yes.
yeah, I'm gonna like shift down to the other end of the room where there's at least some kind of escape, but I
Okay.
think that is pretty reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
so about there.
Okay, then that's going to be Professor Lockhart, kind of pulled in just as Elegant runs past, and you know this thing is out there. What do you do?
There's no way out here, and we are about to get blocked off. If I try to distract it that way, as he points outside the door, you hit it from both ends. If we kind of keep it in the middle, hopefully we can keep her and the other guy safe. So I will punch it on my way out. Hopefully I do not die then, and then I will walk towards Alchemist and plan, no plan. He looks for a sign of yes or no to James.
You guys, your characters are very brash, I must say.
You're an archaeologist who left like a table full of archaeology stuff unattended.
Yeah,
I'm
it'll be
shocked.
there.
No,
It's
not
supposed to
this
be
guy
an
destroys
undisturbed
it.
tomb.
That thing is gonna disturb it.
Exactly. It'll be fine when we get back.
Okay,
Plus,
so
you have James.
as I-
That's what he's there for.
As I kind of explain my slight plan to James, I will walk up to it, hit it, and run.
Slap it.
That will be an attack, which will be under your combat.
Combat. Okay. Smack it. Ugh. How much luck would it take to hit it?
You would need
24?
to spend 24 luck.
Can I spend 24 luck?
If you have it.
I do.
Would you like to?
I don't think so. I will try and then I will run away.
So in Call of Cthulhu, when you make an attack, the person you are attacking gets the chance to decide how they're going to respond. So they can try to dodge or fight back. And fighting back means they're attempting to block or parry while at the same time making one of their own. So both the attacker and defender will roll their own dice. For him, he is going to try to fight back, so it's going to use his fighting skill, and you'll need to roll higher than him, essentially.
Okay.
So,
Ooh. On a dodge action? On the dodge? I have to
so
roll higher?
No, so
Remember
this is just you're attacking him, so you would just roll
Oh.
your attack, and then his response, if I'm reading these rules correctly, is for him to do this, which his character sheet is nothing like yours, so now I'm very confused. Okay, I'm so confused.
That's supposed to be a broader character, but man,
Oh,
is
here it
my
is.
Professor Spicy.
All the spice.
All the spice. Oh God!
No damage though.
The damage is
He's 0.
3d.
No.
I'm so confused.
He's dead.
Whoops. What? What?
That's initiative.
Oh, I think I already have his
There
initiative.
is an initiative.
Well, his character sheet's different. I don't know how. Okay, so there's an unarmed, and then there's a damage button, but the
Okay.
damage is not specifically tied to the unarmed damage.
I'm going to die with my 9 health.
Okay, well, I can't actually click to do damage, apparently. I'm sorry, guys, I did not fully do this right.
It's okay. This is for all of us to learn. I'm just hilariously. The one
I
with
might
the
kill
least amount
you
of
on
health-
accident. I mean, it's part of not
Yeah.
specifically accident, but if it actually does 3d6, then it might not be
3
good.
to
Yeah, no,
18?
I'm fully prepared.
With the 9 being less than half.
But he also has a Kopesh, which he's not carrying, so I feel like that's the blade. So
How about a D4?
Kopeshes are cool. I've had several D&D characters that use those.
oh, here it is. Fighting brawl inflicting 1d6 plus DB. I don't know what DB is. Okay. He's gonna punch you back for 5 damage. As this big meaty fist just comes smush into you. But he does take the damage that you deal, I think, by doing that, doesn't he?
Minus 5. Enter there. I have 4 health. Okay. Right. It is 1d3 for brawl damage. Did I read that correctly?
If it is, then roll a d6. If you're punching, then
Yeah, I'm punching. So roll the d6. I got 3.
okay, so that would be divided by 2, so that's 2 points of damage to him. And you do see that it's been shot in the chest, and there is blood seeping down through from that wound. But it like swings down after you and like knocks you almost flat off your feet. Very
There goes my
Indiana
bridges!
Jonesy. Okay.
And then can I take the rest of my movement to kind of like
Yes.
nah, 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 as
Yes,
I'm like, almost dead.
And where are you wanting to go?
I'm going.
You're going
I'm
to
going
go
near,
into there. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to where that he can still see him with my light, so he can still get a good aim out, but where he doesn't get to hit me again because I am almost on my butt.
Okay.
Could I drop my torch right here?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna drop my torch right here and go at the edge of my torchlight and go right over here with the dude with candle.
Okay, let me
Sound
grab
about right?
a torch.
Because I do not want to run away from it. And in the middle of the scene, it's basically I'm holding the torch, punching him in the face. Don't do as much as I think I do. Get hit in the face myself. Drop the torch, and then just start running for the candles.
Okay, so you're dropping the torch here.
Right where I got hit in the face, right here.
Okay, I think I gave you 20 feet. No, was it 10 feet?
I think it was 10 feet for the torch and 5 feet for the candles.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so there you go.
I used the rest of my movement to get up near him.
Okay, cool. So, I was been trying to like find out exactly the combat rules for the game, and I am having a little bit of trouble doing it. So I think, in order of fairness, you attacked him, and then he attacked you for his turn, but then he will come here and he will roll a perception check to see who he wants to go after. Actually, he can see clearly in any.
Can I tempt him a little bit?
Yes. For that, go ahead and roll. I think that's going to be a persuasion check, probably. That's going to be the third column to the right.
Okay. I am still alive, you fudge nugget! And persuasion again? Persuade. I'm not good at this. Oh, can I drop that one? I will lose 1 luck point.
Okay.
Again?
Yeah, that will work then. He will start to move after you, and he's basically going to come up, except he pauses here, and he's going to stamp on the torch.
No.
And then that's all he can do, and I think I just found the rest of his stats. Yeah, so it was actually 3d6. The Kopesh is 4d6. This is crazy. Okay. What did you hit him with 3 damage, right?
Yeah.
You take another 5 points of damage. So I think you are down.
I am down.
As he claws after you and kind of lifts you off your feet and throws you on the ground. You see stars, and then everything kind of goes black for a second. And for damage,
Where would you like my body?
where it's at.
Okay.
Characters with a major wound heal 1 per day. So roll a Constitution roll.
Constitution. Can I do a luck for 1 again?
If you have the luck, you can save it. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so you are not dying. You are just knocked out. You have not suffered a major wound, and because of that, you are knocked out. Medicine skill can heal you, but it takes about an hour to use appropriate supplies to do healing, or you can heal naturally at the course of 1 hit point per day. If medicine is used on a dying character, it allows healing rule at the end of 1 week. However, you're not dying, so the good news is you're alive. The bad news is you're unconscious. And the worst news is the thing is grabbing for you.
Definitely conscious.
Sorry about that. But it is the next turn, which is James Cobb.
Okay, I can't see this thing anymore.
The light for your allies has been stamped out. You know it's out there. You can hear the scream from the professor, but no, you cannot see it from the hallway where you're at.
When I was in that other room, did I see anything flammable on the wall, like a torch mount or oil or anything that would have been
In the room that you're in, or the one that they're all in right now?
in?
There's so much stuff there. There's anything linen could be lit on fire. There's the boat, which is made out of wood. It might not catch right away, but anything that's like incenses or oils, those could be burned. There's enough stuff that, yeah, if you go out, I mean, even the bodies on the spears could be lit on fire if you wanted. They are dressed
Would
in
there be some like right here when I first come out?
How do you want to spend some luck to just have it there? I was thinking a little bit on the other side, but if you want, you can spend some luck.
So there's still light over here by can I
Yeah,
see the shadow? If they're casting light, I see a little bit of it there? Can I see the shadow that they cast? Its shadow.
Yeah, you can see the shadow because Elogen's holding a candle, which is illuminating that area, and there's a big figure blocking the light.
See its shadow. I don't need to see its color to fire at it.
No, you don't.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thanks for not shooting me.
Really good. So you grab the revolver with both hands and take aim at the darkness, which is silhouetted against the candlelight.
I'm not firing magic missile.
And kapow! You take another shot.
D10 or is
Yes,
it higher because of extreme success?
that I am trying to look up really quick. So for firearms, it says it's the D10, and then it's likely to cause a major wound. So yeah, roll your D10 first.
Nice.
Jesus.
And with the critical success, go ahead and roll a second D10, and because I don't have the full core book, I'm just gonna have you do critical damage with 2d10. And that shot, you see where you hit because the first bullet that goes through, it penetrates straight through the body, and you can see the flickering light, a little bead in the darkness. And you just lift the revolver up a couple inches more to where you think the head's gonna be, and you pull the trigger again.
Oh, so that's 2 bullets then?
Yeah, we're gonna say that's 2 shots.
Okay.
But the result is the head snaps forwards, and Professor, as you are kind of knocked down to the ground looking up, Elogen turns around to see this monster go tumbling down to the ground. And with the critical hit, yeah, you killed it. It also has -1. So that is...
It's only at -1 now, so it was, let's see, that was, I did 12, I did 15 damage, she did 2 damage, so then it had 17 hit points.
Yeah, this thing had 17 hit points.
16 hit points.
But it falls to the ground in a kind of almost toppling over this boat as it kind of hits it a little bit. But then there is silence.
Yeah, not so fast. Allergen is going to call out, Professor! And, just, I get up to Professor Lockhart. I don't know, I guess I'll see what I can do. I can't do too much.
Any medical skill in here?
Oh, there's first aid.
First aid, okay.
Yeah.
I looks like I have a decent first aid.
Likewise.
Teach me up, Doc.
I'm not touching this. I'm not touching first aid. I'm just like slapping your face,
Oops, sorry.
trying to rouse you to consciousness.
As my tongue rolls out.
Out of the way, you're doing more harm than good. And Lady Emma will kind of shove you out of the way. Can I perform a first aid check?
You may, yes.
I keep my gun trained on that thing.
I tripped on my way over. God damn it.
Yeah, it's looking like there's the big scratch claw mark. It's probably gonna heal, but needs to be decontaminated somehow because this abomination scratched her. And you look around, you don't think you have anything to decontaminate it with. That's gonna be tough.
I have a water flask.
Yeah, if you want to do
clean out
that,
the
just
wound.
yeah, if that's what you want to do, but she's not going to arouse or be awakened. But yeah, as James is kind of keeping his gun trained on the creature, you can just see that it's what used to be a man has been like just swollen larger and larger and just kind of been morphed into this abomination, for lack of a better word. And yeah, it's like a mummified husk almost with rippling muscles, but it does not seem to move.
All right, come on. We can explore this later with a better team. We need to find wherever that other wind was coming from, and I'm gonna hoist one of the professor's arms over my shoulders and try to work my way to where I presume has been now knocked down.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to like roll a check for that, but I'd be carrying the professor.
Yeah, mainly it's going to be lighting. So the torch was extinguished. I'm presuming you can give Lady Emma your candle since you'll be busy. So I will. Or she actually has one already, doesn't she?
You know what? I would try my best. My right hand is holding a torch and probably is like, or not torch, the candle tray, and also like the wrist, and my left arm is doing most of the work.
Okay. Yep.
I would like to keep my candle with me.
Do I have like a little satchel on me, by chance?
I think you'd probably at least have a purse, if nothing else.
A little.
Yeah, I think.
Purse or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'd say you'd have a satchel. You're out doing archaeology stuff. It would be smart to have a bag.
Yeah, I will squeeze past James and run back into the room, and I want to grab the notebook that was here, and the Ankh.
Okay. Yeah, you pick up the notebook, which is all in German, and then you take the Ankh as well. It seems to be sealed.
Okay, and I will put those in my
my
little bag. The one that translates German is currently passed out, but it's fine because I've got it now. And then I will hurry back out.
Is the torch able to be relit?
If you want to try to relight it.
Yeah. He'll go down, he pulls out his little cigar case and grabs one of the matches and tries to relight the torch.
Okay. That works. If I can get it to open. Okay, there's your...
Then he'll set it on something here. And if we're trying to make our way out of here, is there anything small that would look small but valuable?
Oh, absolutely. That sounds like an appraise check, which should be at the top
So here, a phrase. No.
Do you
Probably
want
not.
to
He
spend any
grabbed
luck?
something, but it's probably not something that. Probably not the most valuable thing in there.
No, you find there's a little gold statue you can grab. That's probably easy to carry and worth something. Um, you're not going to have a difficulty in bringing something that's worth something in here. Everything is made out of pretty much gold or very exquisitely crafted things and stuff, but you just kind of grab the first small thing that you see, which happens to be a little gold statue. But Elegant, as you are kind of hoisting the professor along, you can see that indeed this limestone barrier has been completely removed.
Wonderful. I would like to. It's pretty hard to be visually out of the way, but I guess as far as the sound that I'm making, I'd like to be stealthy. It's not going to work. I
Mhm.
only have a 20 in the skill, but I'm going to try.
Yeah, sure.
Bam.
You're carrying a person too. That's fair.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sure. So you
But I would.
you
Oh,
go
this just
in.
looks like solid limestone.
As you go in, it does look like it opens into a secret burial tomb. An enormous sarcophagus, big enough to hold the abomination, lies inside. The lid pushed open as soon as the torch comes in. You can see it. And that is pretty much the thing's not going to come back to life, so the last thing would just be getting out of here if you can. So
Well, I would most definitely be looking and listening and feeling for that wind vein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
likewise.
so for a skill check, that will be, I don't know what, navigate.
Hey, that's not that bad, actually.
Can I vouch for
Sure.
a spot hidden?
Yeah, spot hidden would work.
Well,
I think
that's
probably
a
most
little
of you
better
are
as well.
most of you probably have that. Okay.
For
Nah,
this,
screw this. I want to get out. I'm spending 12.
for the sake of it, because of everything that's happened, I could see Lady Emma like super focusing on it. I have a 40 luck left. I'm gonna spend I'm gonna spend enough to give myself an extreme success.
Okay.
26.
Perfect.
I'm gonna spend 26 to give myself an extreme success.
Okay. So when the sarcophagus was opened, it does look like there is a secret passageway along this wall, which had a little bit of a crack, and this is probably how they exited at the end. But as you kind of break through, you do the kind of the same trick as Professor earlier, and just kind of palm your way through it. And as the wall and the plaster kind of chips away and breaks through, you can find there is indeed steps which lead up. As you mount the staircase and you get to the final exit, it takes some all of your attempts to kind of push forwards. But as Elegant uses his trowel, he is able
I got a
to
trowel.
single-handedly excavate the seams of the door to where the point where you can get handholds and begin to lift. And from far above in the Valley of Kings, as I have...
Hey, listen, if you guys want it to also not be dusty, I do have a brush.
Oh, thank God you're here.
Wow, all this stuff I didn't even know
Wait.
that we had. Look at that.
That's so cool looking. Oh my God.
I didn't even know we had this.
That's cool
This
and
is
terrifying,
so
and I love it.
cool.
Oh, there's the dogs.
Those are the doggies.
Look at that. All of these fun memories.
Oh,
Um,
okay. The treasury literally looks... The treasury literally looks like Allergen and Emma.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
That's so funny.
So funny.
Now,
Uh,
I did see Allergen as blonde, but not important.
Black and white photo, maybe.
Of course.
In the Valley of Kings, this one here, you see where the little people are, and they're probably like the tomb somewhere up there. Up in the mountains above it is where this cascade of sand kind of starts pouring down, and behind it you see this little limestone door, and it gets popped out and just kind of falls and slides down the embankment, and you see a dusty Emma, Allergen, James, and hauling the unconscious Professor Lockhart emerge from the tomb. Successful, yet at the same time. If I open up this map and give you 500 feet of light, you fail to find the... hold on, I don't know how to do this very well.
Look at us
There.
being outside.
The chest containing the canopic jars, which is in here. And because of that, as you make your way down, the tomb nestles itself back into the mountain and disappears. And as you come back with your crew to find all the treasure, there is no sign of the necropolis. And
What?
with that,
I
we
have
shall...
the Ankh and I have the diary.
You do.
Because I
Uh,
took that shit.
Those you do
I
have.
got the gold statue.
Oh yeah,
You
you've
do
got
have the gold statue, yes. Everything that you were able to get, you still have, but everything beyond is vanished.
And he did
Allergen
write down
is
all
going
the
to have-
hieroglyphs that he read.
What was that?
He wrote down all of the hieroglyphs that he read, so
That-
we at least have a translation of the tombs.
That's right, you do. All of this stuff, you definitely do. But yeah, that is it. You all survived. That was really cool.
Yay!
Thank you all for playing. Thank you for bearing with my noob Call of Cthulhu DMing. So, but I had fun. Thank you for playing. Hope you all had fun, and we will have to see you all in the next one.
I love this system. This is so fun. Thank you so much, Adrian. It's always a blast playing a game that you're running. Everybody, it was great to play with you all. I know all of us are super sleepy. So I think it's time we all call it a night. So for now, everybody say goodbye to YouTube.
YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. Happy dungeon delving, everyone.